We've gone completely rogue, by the way. Dad's not even here.
There's Tucci in the house, the #1 film guys in the business. Right there.
Alright, so I know what you're thinking. I'm thinking it as well. It's devastating in here, like a bomb went off between all three cars. But this video should be something special, hopefully. Today we are finally going to put the 632, I think I cracked my screen thing. Whoa, 632 in the dragster. So as you can tell, our garage is full. If it was my garage, it would probably only, I would probably only put like 2 projects in it, because there's just so many parts coming off and on each car, and there's so much. But there's actually 3 projects in here and a dragster, so it's pretty crammed in here. But right now what we're doing is we're gonna try to slide. I'll show you in a minute. But we have the 632 back here, and we're gonna try to slide the dragster out of the corner just enough that we could slap the motor in, do all the work, and then slide it back in and leave it. So it's gonna be a 2-day extravaganza, probably, hopefully. Hopefully it goes pretty smooth, but the motor plates already match up and all that, so it's really just kind of slapping the motor in with the motor plate and go in. It had a 707 in it before, so it's used to having a big motor. This is small compared to a 707, but I think it's a 707. It was. But there's just a lot of stuff in the way, and it's kind of been a shelf, and this dragster hasn't moved in like 3.5 years. So it's kind of like there's just so much stuff. But the last video you probably saw was an update on Nick's car. It's coming along. It's coming along. But unfortunately, we kind of had to. Long story short, I have nothing going on this weekend. Everybody that I would be seeing is out of state anyway, and he's got no car show. We don't have to move any stuff out of a house that we sold, so it was kind of like 48 hours where we had absolutely nothing going on, and we're still trying to make a small push to make it to PDRA at Maple Grove. So we figured, let's just take advantage of the 2 days we have absolutely nothing on the schedule and try to get everything done in the dragster up until the tranny, and then once the tranny comes in, we should be able to just slap that in and go from there. So alright, so pretty embarrassing, not gonna lie, but it has to happen. So here's the dragster. You've seen it a couple times. If you're new to the channel, here's the dragster. Basically, the problem is there's just so much stuff over here that, like, we don't have any room to put any of the stuff that's laying on the dragster. That's why it's on the dragster, because we have no room for these massive wheels. We have no room for this, for the front of the mod piece. So that'll probably go outside somewhere. We have no room for these. That'll probably go outside. So it's just kind of easier. And then we got the Mustang, which, I mean, the rear end's out of it. Kind of sucks because it was already pretty much set up exactly how we needed it, but we gotta wait for an anti-roll. So it's kind of like we couldn't finish the job. We couldn't finish the job and just roll it out. And plus, here's another thing. The TIG welder's all the way over there, and it doesn't reach over here. So now we have to swing the Mustang around with no rear end in it back there in that spot. So it's kind of like a nightmare right now, but we're just focused on cleaning this back area, getting the motor in, and making it neat so we can push the dragster back in, and you can actually feasibly work on it without the hassle of a ton of stuff in the way and all that. So that's kind of like the game plan today. Just clean up and get the dragster set up so we could put the motor in it. So another thing, we got this killer water pump here from Razir that also needs to go on. Now, I don't really know. I'm still in the super basic learning of race car stuff and terminology and whatnot, because I only really sunk my teeth into it 3 years ago, so I'm still learning. But dragster stuff, I don't know much about the car stuff yet, besides like building a cage, which I guess I don't really know much about that either. But dragster stuff is just a whole nother realm. Dragster stuff and electrical work, untapped territory for me, uncharted territory. Uncharted territory for me. So All right, making serious progress here. So this area is kind of clean. I mean, once we pull the dragster out, then I'll be able to get behind it, but took the big wing off the wall. He's probably gonna get rid of it. Got all the stuff out back. The problem is there's just so much stuff, and then we have to get this out to put the motor in, obviously, and then we need to get the motor out. So this has to go in the garbage. So it's almost like it's almost like controlled chaos right now. Is that we can't really put anything anywhere other than the garage, but you kind of have to make it look neat, so it's not like, you know, so it doesn't look like a disaster. So I'm pretty much taking the disaster and kneading it up a little bit, but we're getting there. We're getting there, and then we should be able to just pull out the dragster just enough that we can slide the motor in and get the stand down, which is good, and then put it in. Probably hear the wind, sorry, block the fan, but that's it. Motor right there, tranny right behind it. Yeah. Okay, well, White Trashville is getting a little nicer. It's getting a little nicer. Everyone calm down. So we got the dragster pretty much ready to slide out, which is nice. Like I said, I can get back there and clean. Nick's car is just an absolute disaster, but unfortunately we're using it as storage because we're sliding stuff under it, but we'll clean it up once we get everything in the dragster, like physically in it, then, you know, everything will go back to normal. But for right now, what's the sense of taking the rear end out if putting it back here if it's just going to be in the way? So everything's pretty much tucked underneath Nick's car right now, so I can slide everything out. And then once we slide everything out, then we can slide this stand back underneath there. We can figure out what's going on under here. Maybe we can get that back in the trailer and all this stuff, you know, back where it belongs. FedEx is here. FedEx is here. Let's see what they brought me. Okay, so actually another update. You guys didn't see us paint it black, so it's not Kawasaki green anymore, which is nice. Goes good with the silver chassis it's got on it. So, but we're making headway. Gotta get this off the stand, and I'll take this stand, probably slide it somewhere. Everything's kind of just out of order right now because we just need to get it in and then go back to, the wind is killing me. Go back to the way it was. Okay, we successfully didn't drop the 632, which is great news. So now we gotta get this out, and we gotta get the jack out. So we need to take the rear end off, lay it on the floor. It's a mess. It's a mess. All right, it's time. We've gone completely rogue, by the way. Dad's not even here. No, one day I'm gonna have to do a ship by myself. He knows that. So, better off starting now, right? With his stuff. Yeah, you're live, by the way. Well, not live, but I'm filming right now.
You gotta put a water pump gasket on both sides.
Yeah.
Right? Because of the motor.
So, looks like the motor, I forgot about the water pump and stuff. So, you saw last thing you saw was us getting it hoisted up. But now it's back, you know, gently on the cardboard just so get the water pump on. Alright, so that's the motor plate, water pump, another bracket for the alternator, right? So
Water pump, alternator, and a pump, a vacuum pump.
And a vacuum pump. So, and then these little tabs right here.
Vacuum pump here.
Go right on here.
Alternator here, mandrel here, 2 belts.
And there you go. It's all bolted on, all the stuff we have now, and ready to go in.
for bolts for the mid plate. These are too long, so looking for bolts for the mid plate just so we can get it slapped in there, and then I can start pushing everything back in and making it not a total disaster. It will be a disaster, but not totally. That was good.
That was fast.
Yeah.
I would have bought a pair of Go Jacks on yesterday.
All right, so a little bit of an update. You haven't seen our faces in a while. Sorry about that.
Because God knows I'm sure you missed it.
Yeah, you definitely missed it. The few people that watch this channel, you missed me. But last clip you saw, we were actually packing up the garage because my man here, tell him what happened. COVID, 103 fever, beat it. He's a survivor. So it's actually been almost 2 weeks since we've been in the garage, really. So that was about 2 weeks ago. So the last clip you saw, but
We went a trip to North Carolina.
yeah, we took a trip to North Carolina. Hopefully, you know,
We're getting out of this shithole.
hopefully we get out of New York because it sucks here. But you never know. But it's pretty much left exactly how it was. Besides that, we finished my car. Nick's here.
Show the fans what you got.
Oh, I was letting it go outside so I could drink it. Maybe I'll melt it.
You
No,
might
I'm joking. So, yeah, so everything's pretty much the same that it was. Same as it was when we left. So
It's
now
going
we
to
have
be way different when we leave today.
Yeah.
Way different.
So, unfortunately, some stuff had to stay outside. It's a little white trash, but we need to spin the Mustang around because the pedal from the TIG welder is all the way up there, and they need to weld the shock mounts. So. So there's a better angle. We got Nick's car out, and he starts talking as soon as he hasn't talked this whole time until I opened and started filming. But
And I only say that because there's another thing.
making some progress here. Cut a circle, maybe. Cut a circle, maybe. Can you cut a circle?
Yeah?
Or you want to keep the Zeus thing?
No, I'd get rid of it.
No, it's up to you. I think it'd be easier. The infamous bracket racer wing
It's going to the curb.
is going to the
Put
curb.
that right out front. Someone will have to take that before nighttime.
All right, so definitely much neater on this side. I mean, the other side and over there we got to clean up, but they got a party to go to, so we're gonna make sure at least we can get this in because we don't need the Mustang out to clean over there. Well, after a long battle with Jack, we're getting it done. Hey.
Oh, hi.
So, the last clip you guys saw, I think, was probably like getting the Mustang in, but then it was like there's a heat wave going on right now. People are so bad at dig or die. I heard you couldn't even live stream because everything was overheating. But this is the final result. So looks good. Had to work today, so unfortunately I couldn't really help out much in the garage with what I'm about to show you right now. But everything needs to be set back up. It's caddy cornered in so we can work on the dragster, and he got this absolutely massive, probably way too big headers for a good deal that'll do it for this video. This is kind of like, you know, dropping the motor in slash cleaning up slash putting headers on, but I didn't show you any of the headers getting put on. So thank you guys for watching.
I'm a young shot caller, hit place, bad bitch taker, AK slanging as gangster, white flags if the one hang, 2-gun gang, twin glocks, I'm flaming. Should've been a teacher, how I get you white chalk.